Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my game review of Banishers Goes to New Eden. I'm your host, Twisted Game, and recently I completed this game. And so, you guys want to check out the playlist, it being in the description below, for a playthrough. Now, a few things we're going to talk about Ghosts of New Eden is a few things: the story, how the plot is, what type of gameplay is going to be, and the pros and cons of the game, and then I'll give it a review score at the end. So you guys do enjoy these type of videos and content, give it a like, comment, and subscribe channel more content. Now let's begin with the review. Now, how the plot goes is you play as the Banishers of Red McGrath and Antia Duarte from London, going to a place in America, in the place called New Eden. They've been recruited by Charles Davenport in a letter saying that he needs help vanquishing this evil in New Eden. When you get there, Charles Davenport is unfortunately succumbed to the evil and actually dies in the very beginning game. And then on your first night you get there, the nightmare, the evil, was able to persuade Red out from his sleep, had him go to the meeting house and go and fight with the Nightmare. But unfortunately, what happens is Nightmare tries to kill Red, and Tail comes in to save, but Tail actually does die. So eventually, from that point on, you get helped by a person named Seeker, who kind of saves you from death and kind of helps you a little bit throughout the game. But eventually, you mate with the ghost of Antea, and so your main goal is from this point on is to get yourself as Red and Antea to New Eden again, just to like recover her body. Now, this game is all about choice. So, what is choice and what is the consequences? So, in this particular game, there's a thing called oath system, and you want to know what an oath system. So, in throughout your time, there are what they call haunted gates. Now, there are four major haunting cases inside the game. There's four of them. When you first go into the first village area that you find, actually just three. And then there's two other section parts that you separate from. And that's a key haunting case. Now, there are other side quest haunting cases, which is real optional. But I think when it's optional, you should do it, because the O system kind of determines what your ending of the game will be. So there's one part that you can either solve these haunting cases where you can either like ascend the ghosts that's haunting the people of New Eden, and then there is a way that you can actually kill the person that the ghost is haunting, and that will help you bring Antea closer back to being alive again. And doing these two things will have you go and and essentially you do what you can to progress the story. That, of course, is it a good ending and then a bad ending, depending which one. And there's a neutral ending. Well, it's not really a neutral ending, where let's say you want to send Antea to the afterlife, but you do the opposite and you kill people instead to sacrifice them. You actually restart back in the game. So you gotta make sure which one you pick. On the haunting cases, now haunting cases, how it works is someone gets like basically um they get tracked down by ghosts, and you're eventually trying to solve the case and see what's happening. And at the end of the case, you decide whether to banish people or to like banish ghosts, kill people. Basically, what you choose. Now, some of them are interesting, some are different. Like there's one where the guy is abusive to his wife, So the wife kills him, and then the person she actually fought, who she loves, he actually goes ahead and it kind of replaces her, like her husband. That's one story of the case. And there's another case where like there's a black man in another part called Fort Jericho, and he used to be a slave to a chick, and when she died, she gave him all of her estate and money and stuff like that. So he eventually became a free man, and you want to know how and why that's the case, and essentially, solve that case, why she's haunting him, stuff like that. So they're not all like the same cases. Some are real unique cases. Like there's one in the Harrows where there's like old lady who she goes like her ghost is like hanging. She's hanging off of a ship, and you basically like convince her not to like do the thing, do the deed, and really the ghost is of herself and it's like unlocking her, like it's locking her memory. So that's a really like unique case, and so all the cases, some the cases are unique to itself. Not every single one is generic and stuff like that. Um, gameplay. Now, gameplay is um is what it is with gameplay. We're not going to sit here. It's basically you attack with your weapon. You can either shoot with a gun. You can parry, dodge out of the way as red. Does the red stuff, but Antea's part is really more unique in there because she can also punch and stuff like that. But in each of the parts of the story, she actually learns like a new ability. Like she can leap forward, so she goes and attacks. Leaps forward to attack them. She goes. She can go if you hold down on a PlayStation 5. For me, it's the right back trigger. You hold long enough, she does and she does like a sound wave explosion and does more damage the longer you hold it. There's like another ability where she actually like gets like Red's weapon and she becomes like unstoppable with slashing and stuff like that for a limited amount of time. So but you gotta be careful when Taya that she what she has is called spirit points, and the more abilities she uses or she hits she takes and to play to zero, you have to go back as red. In the game, when you die, the game ends essentially as red. If if you're Intana, you can never die because she's already dead. Red, you will lose um if you health reaches zero. There is health potion you can get in the game. Each weapon you can get, the armor you can be upgraded through a crafting system that you can collect throughout the world, and you can also get certain items by buying it from Seeker or her master named Ceridian, or you get them through like special areas. We made special areas. Well, there's certain things called like there's a nest where there's like a ghost, you know, going in is like massive, so you like beat everyone in that like trial system. Once you do that, you get like a cool like item, which will void at the end of the void. You go from one end to the other, beating enemies. And so once you go ahead and beat the last enemy, you go ahead and you get what the item is at the end of it. Once you get that, um, like you can help craft your weapons better and stuff like that. Um, and so there are obstacles in the game in the world and stuff. Like there's also you, there's the collectibles. You get these certain like items in the game. They they help you open a chest that gives you equipment and stuff like that. So it is well to explore, but at the same time, you can't explore certain areas because of roadblocks in the game. Like for instance, you can't get this like the one exploding part when you hold down the back trigger for some amount of time, it does damage to it, all round damage. You can't without that. There's certain areas you can't access to with it. So you can't really explore how you want to, but once that you get everything there is, then you can explore as much as you can. So That is a bit here and there. That's kind of frustrating when you walk around and stuff like that. Um, but yes, that is the main part of the game. What you're gonna do is travel from A to B, do story, do the story part. Okay, that's done. You get a boss fight at the end of the story, and then you get to choose in that settlement if that person survives or you kill them all. And I did kill like two people, two of the main people in the story. So, two because just in case I want to bring a tail back to life, so I was on killing rampage for a bit. But I think, but again, you can kill certain people. You can do some that are the opposite of what you can do, and still have your ending if you want to. But that is the main part of the game. Um, that what you're gonna do. Now we're gonna talk about the pros and cons of the game. I think we're gonna talk about the pros of the game. One of the main pros of the game, I think the graphics of the game is really good. Their faces is all really good, and the voice acting is really good. This will go hand in hand. I think the story, you mainly want to play this game for the story, but it is made by Don't Nod. So, you play the game for a story. That's all. That's all you want to do is play the game for a story. Um, I believe the game it is long amount of hours you can play this game. I played this game 45 parts, which quite honestly it probably took about 40 hours of the game. So I mean you can get more hours out of the game by doing every little like tiny thing in the game. Like I said, the voids, the um like getting those collectible items, getting weapons and stuff like that. So that's the thing that occurred that you can do in the game. But if you're a person like well exploration, this game's good for you. Exploration. Um, I think the atmosphere when you first get into the game is actually really cool. Because it sets you up like, damn, this is a shithole, you know. So I think that part is really cool going to the game. And like I said, this big game's main story. So if you don't like the combat, it's up to you. Combat is subjective in this type of game. Now let's go with the negatives, which some of the negatives are really bad. I think the combat, especially Red's part, is really boring. Red's when you do stuff Red is real boring. You just want to use Antea the whole time. That's all you want to do is use Antea the whole time. Antea. Because her stuff is actually more awesome and cool than Red. So combat is a mixed bag. Um, performance wise, like I said, but I like the graphics. Just some performance issues. Um, menus lag and freeze, or goes really slow and frame rate droppage. Um, there's one game bug I encountered near the end of the game because you're trying to find the seeker. I'm not gonna spoil like a whole entire part of this happen, but you're supposed to find the seeker, and in this hut you go into, you actually this is where you actually get your final ability with the like fusion with Red and until it goes like all haywire. So, so use her to break down the what they call the spectral webs, and then goes behind their stairwell. It goes down. But unfortunately, what happened is I got stuck on the first step, and I couldn't move. I couldn't roll. I couldn't move out of the way. I just got stuck. Um, so I had to reload a checkpoint, which that's a positive about this game. I need to add in a very good positive about the game is there's a good checkpoint system, a really good checkpoint system. It saves a lot by yourself, so you don't have to save constantly. It does save a lot. But yes, I did run into one game bug. Good thing, the, it saved. It saves well, so that's like the only negative in terms of like performance wise type of game. Another bad thing, I explained there's bosses. Bosses are mixed bag. Now there are 5 major bosses in the game. There's 5. one's there's a thing called the Beast. The Beast one's really good because it lights up um weak points on his body, and you have to use a gun or sword or use a weapon in order for you to like hit the critical spots, so you can actually do damage to the Beast. There is the in Fort Jericho. There's a section where you like fight, um, like you have to shoot at the boss, but then the area turns dark, and then until like gets warped away. So you have to find like an area where it is at, but you get the wrong area. Enemies come out like the pods and try and attack you too. So that's unique. That's right there is unique, like boss area. But at the same time, if I go to the hero section of the game, that boss is so easy. I think I beat the boss in 5 seconds. Well, this is what they do. They send like a duplicate of you as Red and Antea. So they take damage by using Red and Antea. And guess what I do? I use Red and Antea. And guess what? I beat their ass in 5 minutes. So that's a little disappointing. And there's another boss fight for the final boss, and the final boss is really disappointing. But the reason why the boss is not as disappointing as the Hero's boss is because there's a 2-stager. Once you complete the 2-stage, which is like they're very easy because you get all the fucking abilities possible and you just roughshot through it with like ease. Yeah. I mean, the boss fights are a mixed bag, and like I said, the first two I did was great, and actually at writing it, the last ones were like, I don't know about that. I was just mashing buttons. There was no what's it called? Um, there was no like change. There's no different strategy I had to take. There's nothing there. Also too, one thing about inputs, the game has an input issue. What I mean by that is when I'm low on health, I would press square to like heal, and the guy wouldn't do it. Like you have to, and then sometimes when I'm like attacking, um, and I beat everyone, like he attacks like 4 straight times in a row. It's like, okay, buddy, like you can stop doing that. There's other parts. There's lots of puzzles in where they're fine. There's a couple puzzles that kind of piss. There's one particular puzzle that pissed me off when you go to Fort Jericho. Because you're going to a mine, and because you're going to a mine, there's like a little like puzzle. You have to hit these wired up wires, and that like helps you with the elevator. There's one particular thing you have to legitimately get in the most perfect angle possible, and you're just like, what? Why? Why do I have to do the most perfect way? Why do I have to go like in? Because it's a gun and it's from 1600s. They're not very accurate. Like, at least make like the boxes bigger, or the hit boxes, where I don't have to struggle trying to find the perfect spot. So that's annoying. That was very annoying. Um, one of the most one annoying things I found in the game is there is a. I feel like this is a error of the game because like I said, once you be complete Darkwoods of that like boss area, the game allows you to progress to the other side, and basically what the bridge New Eden is gone, so you have to go to Fort Jericho and Heroes. There's no illusion, you have to do both in order to go to New Eden because story. um Problem is like with my playthrough, I actually went to Fort Jericho first, and I found that to be a mistake. And what I mean my mistake is that I was like level 12 or level 13 going to Fort Jericho. And all enemies are level 17 and 18. I'm like, what? Why are these guys so more higher level than me? Which is fine because I beat everyone and eventually got to like the 17 area. But then when I go to the heroes, they're all like 12s and 13s. I'm like, like, if you're gonna put in a section where you can choose one side or the other. Don't make me, the gamer, feel stupid about my decision and have me feel like an idiot going to the one part and not the bottom part. I think that's just stupid. If you're gonna do that, at least like put like a code in the game. Like if you go to the top, that area should be level 12 and level 13. But then when you go down to the heroes, they after you beat Fort Jericho, go to 17, 18, and then it makes it fair. But no, what do I know about the stuff? Um, I believe also I want to make a point. Is I think this is a and this is what I mean by they want you to go for Harrow over Fort Jericho first. There's a part of the game when you go to Harrow, you talk to an NPC that's kind of crucial to what's going on at Harrow, and they talk about a particular person from Fort Jericho and how if he knows about it, he's going to do something to you. Here's a problem. In my playthrough of the game, I killed his major character. I actually killed this guy. And so, because I killed this guy, that line she says about like, well, don't let him find out about your witchcraft, stuff like that. Kind of annoying in a way. That shouldn't be the case. Where I should be, where again, the game wants to go to Harrow before Fort Jericho. Like, come on, let's be serious here. Let's be serious. I went to Fort Jericho first, therefore Fort Jericho. Me going to Fort Jericho shouldn't. It should affect the story in Harrow. At least I want to be like, you're lucky, Captain. This person, I almost said his name. This person's dead because if you knew you were doing it, it's I think it's a coding thing. You could, I believe they should be able to do that through coding of the game. I think the fast travel system's kind of stupid. What I mean is, you can't fast travel unless you go to a campfire a lot. Unless you don't, unlike a certain campfire in an area, you're kind of fucked. So, I think that part's kind of stupid with the campfire thing. Like you can't upgrade weapons too at the campfire, so that's kind of stupid. Also, if you decide fast travel, the game actually tells you like if you fast travel, the enemies will reset, and enemies popping up resetting. It's really stupid. I mean, you should be walking around like, okay, I just want to do this side quest. Oh crap, there's a group of enemies I gotta kill off. Gee, thanks. Thanks, game. Oh, you complete everything? Oh, look at that. They're level 27. What jump is that? I'm only level 20. Why are there level 27 guys here? So they just add like enemies on the top. So on that regard, it's kind of again annoying part. But that it is annoying when you're just trying to find an area because the game map is like, oh yeah, you have to find this particular thing, but we're not gonna tell you exactly where it's at. It's also annoying, and then there's enemy on top of you trying to kill you. I'm just like, come on, man, stop doing that. I think there's other couple of cons in the game, but they're minor cons. Like I said, with the save point, the all saving is pretty good, but like the void, the side quest with the void, like there's fragment across the map. If you do the void, you have to do it all one shot. So if you somehow like die in the void, then the game you can't first you can't save in the void, and then the game doesn't all save in the void. And so that's kind of negative. And then the like those nest stills, they're hit or miss. Well, most of them are hits. There's some like, oh, you have to dodge perfectly. You have to parry perfectly. Like, come on, man. Why do I have to parry perfectly? Parrying doesn't even work that much in this game. So, whatever. And to me, and there's a lot of times where if you want to do some of these like haunting case missions side quests, you have to backtrack. There's a lot of backtracking in this game. A lot of backtracking. So if you don't like backtracking in the game, I'm sorry, but there is a lot. I mean, a lot of backtracking in the game. So this game, mixed bag. I think it's one of those don't not get games, the story's really good. I do like the story. Problem is that this game has a lot of issues. Um, and I don't see don't knock in. You relate them as Life is Strange type of games. This game has good. It has good things going for it, but it has some negatives. And maybe in the next game they wanted to explore more of this type of deal. The basic combat, they fix those negatives, the backtracking and stuff like that. Backtracking is really bad because you can't, like I said, you can't fast travel without campfires. And there's campfires really far away from where you're at. There's a lot of backtracking. Actually, if I go in the area in Darkwoods 600 times, like, what are we doing here? You know? So, the final score of this game. I really, really want to give this a 7, but I can't. I gotta give this game's a 6.5. It's a slightly above average game. There's too many negatives where this game can't be at a at a 7. This this needed to be a 7, but it is a 6.5. Too many negatives, and along with too many negatives with the game, the game kind of suffers for it. I can't. If you add side quests, I cannot backtrack to the same spot, especially where the haunting cases, they do not appear all at the same time. You have to do stuff inside the story in order to do the haunting cases. So I don't know. There's something to say on that. But that will conclude today's review. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, so you guys have a good night. Peace.